What's going on, everyone? Today is July the 4th, 2023. We're going to talk about AMD real quick. Trying to figure out, let's keep it real, if the market in AMD, if it's going to rebound from the recent movement to the downside, which I can actually tell you, we did predict that AMD was going to go lower. Here it is right there in front of you. We did a video for AMD on the 20th of June, looking for price to go down. Now, look at where I said that the market was going to go. Okay, I didn't say that it's going to run down to $100. I didn't say that it's going to run down to 90. Our ultimate TP price was here around 110. And that is where the market in AMD has hovered since we did the video. This is why I'm creating the video now, because we could possibly see the market in AMD rebound higher from that low of 110. Let's talk about it. So let's go ahead and get rid of this price prediction here. Congratulations to those who's able to get that 8.53% off the market in AMD there. We're going to extend, the first thing we're going to do is extend this resistance area into the market in AMD. Now it's good to see that price did not run all the way down here to this trend line. That's great. But we're going to extend it because let's not forget, we may still see price in AMD come all the way back down to that trend. And it's going to scare a whole lot of people, but don't worry about it, because if it's going to happen, the chart will let us know way ahead of time so that we can be prepared. So now let's go ahead and look at this AMD on a different time frame. This AMD on the 2-day chart, it doesn't look drastically weak. Not right now. It doesn't look terribly weak. That price is still geared to go lower. In fact, the last couple of 2-day price bars, buyers has maintained and controlled price. Here it is on the 3-day chart. Again, I like the 5-day time frame because we did see weakness here on this 5-day price bar, but instead of price continuing to go lower, it went up instead. That tells you that buyers entered the market right there, because if the buyers didn't show up, then inevitably AMD would not went up, but it did. Here it is on the weekly chart. Just like I told you, this week right here, yes, sellers controlled price, but then the next following week, buyers controlled. So we do see an area of support in the market in AMD. I would say just $105, just to do a nice round number right there at 105. Okay. So let's do this. We're going to take this area here and we're going to bring it down to where the buyers control price. It's where they've started to control the price. Okay. So now here's AMD on the 2 weeks. Not too bad. 3, 5. Really want to be careful on the 5-weekly time frame. Really want to be careful on the monthly time frame, because we're definitely seeing some weakness into the market at AMD there. So considering that we do see weakness in the market in AMD on the 5-weekly chart here, and even here on the monthly, we got to be careful as to how bullish we really think the stock is. Okay, this is not an NVIDIA stock. The market here at AMD is definitely not that strong. Okay, so let's hit this on an hourly chart. Let's try to figure out how high could we see the market in AMD go, because right here is where the sellers began to enter the market in AMD. Why would I say that? Because I would say in June, right here was where buyers was holding the price in AMD. Okay, like beginning of June. This is what they were doing. Price inevitably went below it, coming right back up to test that number again, 117. Currently, sellers is entering into the market in AMD there. Okay, so that is resistance right now on an hourly chart. On an intraday basis, $117 is where sellers are at. Okay, now this is the 3-hour chart though. Yes, sellers are coming into the market right here, but then you ask yourself the question, there's always two sides of the coin, of the game. You got two teams, buyers and sellers. Sellers sold their positions in AMD. Do you think the buyers bought it up? Because if they did, then that tells us that 117 is not going to be a problem, and that price is going to continue to go higher than that. This is what the 3-hour chart is representing, that buyers did buy whoever sold their AMD into the market. This is it on the 1-hour chart. This is how you can tell that buyers bought right there on that 1-hour price bar. It's telling us that even though sellers came in on this high volume bar right here, the market still is trending up. They're buying. Take a look at this on the 330-minute chart. Here it is on the 90. 45-minute. Okay, let's look at this on the 7-minute chart. What do you think about the trading action here? In the beginning half of the trading day, yeah, sellers entered the market, puts price down, but it maintained its elevation. See that? And this is where the buyers entered in right here. It's amazing as to what can happen, as to what you can see off of the price chart alone. Right here on this 7-minute price bar, July the 3rd, 2023 at 10:35 is where the buyers entered in. Look at the volume. Again, it tells us everything we need to know. The volume tells us that this is where the market bought. Somebody into the market at AMD said, all right, let me open up my wallet and then we begin buying AMD here. So let's go ahead and do this then. We're going to go ahead and play some strength into the market in AMD, but I want you to remember that price in AMD is not that bullish though. I know, I'm sorry. I got to keep it real though. It's not that bullish. I got to keep it a buck. Got to keep it 100. So my price targets is not going to be big. It's not going to be wide. Okay. We do have support at 108, 107. First target, we already know where it is, 117. That's not going to be my first target though. My first target is going to be here at 120, which is 3.5%. That's it. 3.5% on the first target. My second target for AMD is going to be at 122.27, which is 5.5% there. And then my third target for AMD is going to be like a 124.50, which is 7.44% there. That's it for the moment. Okay. And once we continue to see interest of the buyers in the market in AMD, we could potentially extend this up higher, but I want to wait for that. Okay. So it is your turn. Go ahead and give me a thought as to what do you think AMD is about to do. This is what I'm thinking now, and we'll see what happens at the conclusion of this trading week to see if the market is actually more bullish or if we're still bearish, because price cannot break above 117. Make sure you maintain the profitability, and as always, trade different.